Hey there, friends. How's it going today? I want to talk today a little bit about fear and anxiety and what part they play in your life. Fear and anxiety are natural things that happen in our lives. I mean, to be honest with you, some people experience a ton of anxiety and fear about numerous things. Sometimes they're irrational things, and sometimes they're very real things that are going on in our lives. How do we deal with that? You know, the best way to look at fear often is that it's false evidence appearing real. And what I mean by that is that we tend to grow our fear and our anxiety. We create a bigger deal out of things in our head to prepare ourselves for handling what might happen. And there's an old saying, right? You prepare for the worst, but you hope for the best. Well, what we do naturally to protect ourselves is that we blow up anxiety, or we blow up issues really big in our system, so that when whatever happens that we can handle it. And my advice to you is not to do that to yourself, because when you talk about that fear being false evidence appearing real, what that really means, it's a cute little acronym, but what it really means is that often what ends up happening what we think is going to happen doesn't end up happening more often than not. And when it does happen, it happens to a lesser extent than we thought. And so we spend a lot of energy on fear and anxiety about those things happening, and that paralyzes us instead of us moving forward and being productive, or being creative, or being results driven. And I want you to really think about that fear is false evidence appearing real. And that if you do your research, you'll find that the research done on anxiety and fear, or specifically fear about what might happen, that more often than not, what you think is going to happen doesn't happen at all, or when it does happen, it's to a much lesser extent than we anticipated it. So that anxiety, that wave, or that workup that we spend all that time and energy and that lack of focus on, ends up being wasted on something that wasn't as big as we thought it would be. And so the practice that you want to put yourself through is that you always prepare for the worst, but truly hope for the best. And by hoping for the best, meaning you're staying focused on the best possible outcome. You're looking at the upside, because the upside is the best side to live in, right? It's the glass half full versus half empty. Always be looking for the upside and the solution. And so your goal should be to be a solutions-oriented person. So whenever there's a problem, you're looking for the solutions, and you're spending your time focused on the solutions versus the problem. And what that does is it makes you, it allows you to conquer that fear by looking at all of the ways that you can solve it. Even if you're not solving it completely, you're only partially solving it. You're looking for solutions. And your mind is so caught up in looking for the solutions that you're not caught up in the fear, that false evidence appearing real, that anxiety, that spin up, that wave that's just building. So again, be a solutions-focused person. Whenever problems present themselves, immediately start looking for the solutions. That doesn't mean don't prepare for things that could go wrong. What that means is then take the majority of your time and your attention on the solutions. And what you'll find is, it's an empowering event. You're empowering yourself to recognize that all problems have solutions. And second, we know that fear is false evidence appearing real, and that whatever happens whatever we think is going to happen may not happen at all, or when it does happen, it's going to happen to a much smaller scale. What you're also doing is practicing your ability to be a problem solver. And being a problem solver is an absolute skill set and a strength that people recognize, that benefits them in life, benefits them in their career, benefits them overall. So be a problem solver. Stop looking for all the things that can go wrong and looking for the solutions instead. All right, let's take care of each other, take care of yourself, and let's absolutely make it a great year. Take care, everybody.